Hello everybody, let me invite some people. Okay, I invited some of you. Let me see if I can share this. Okay. As you may saw, I tried again to connect Facebook to OBS, which is the free program that I'm using for lives and for lives from a computer, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So I don't know why. Everything is connected, my camera is connected, but it won't work. So I will go through live because I don't want you to miss this opportunity, and I want to do this anyway and to leave this record here. So I'm going through live. Sometimes when technology is not working, people are giving up, but I'm not the quitter. So I'm going to do it anyway. I think I'm giving you value. It doesn't matter if it's called masterclass or Facebook Live. So I can see that still I do not have people here, but it doesn't matter. I have my computer here, so from time to time I'm going to switch the view just to be quickly reminded with what I wanted to share with you. Today masterclass is 3 secrets that I want to share with you to skyrocket your life with the self-care. So 3 secrets I want to share with you that I mastered in last 7 years that really skyrocket my life, personal and social life, as well as professional life. So I want to share it with you because of the 2 reasons. First, because some of you ask me, what is your secret? How do you do it? How do you manage to do it? And the second thing is because you will see those are not the hard stuff, but the stuff that we are not thinking of. So these secrets are my tools and some changes that I made in my life that I was really not aware that they will have such an impact on every aspect of my life. So before I start with that, I want to tell you a story. So after my daughter was born, which is almost 10 years ago, I found myself in the place where some 1 year after she was born, we moved from Montenegro to Serbia. So we came back home, let's say. And I started to be more active in my previous company because I was in the city where the company is headed, placed. And I found myself that I really wanted to go out from home. So I found myself thinking how to stay at my work longer during the day, but then I was not going early to work. So I needed my morning, that's okay. But then when I go to work, I was finding this job and this job and this job just to stay a little bit longer. And then suddenly my daughter was 1 year old. She was still breastfeeding. She was still very, very small. But I somehow, because I was not working before that for almost 1 year, I somehow found myself that I'm running away from home. I just needed my freedom. I needed to do all the things I wanted to, I was doing before she was born. And I know that for some of you, this may resonate and you can find that in your personal life. And for some of you, you can see that you can judge me or whatever. But I want to be honest. So I was really digging into the work. And at one point, after a couple of months, I saw that immediately when I wake up, I do prepare myself. I kiss her, kiss my husband. My husband at the moment was not working, and I was running away. I need to work. I need to work. I need to go to work. And then when I was coming back home, it was already night. I was there whole day, so I was like, oh, I just need to, we will play a little bit, and then mommy needs to go to work. Mommy needs to go to work. She was really young. She really needed me because for 1 year, we were every day, whole day together. I started to work a couple of months after she was born, but I was working from home, so I was not going anywhere. I was not leaving her, and suddenly I was not there. And a couple of months after that, the problem started. So first I started to experience unsatisfaction. So I was really not satisfied. I was really not enjoying going to work, and I was not enjoying being home. When I was at home, I was thinking, oh, I need to work, I need to work. And then when I was at home, I was thinking, oh, I'm so bad mother. I'm leaving her a whole day alone. She's still breastfeeding. She was still breastfeeding in the evening. But then the situation got worse. So what happened was that she was reacting to my stress and she was reacting to my situation. So she was becoming a very bad sleeper. She was not bad sleeper at all, let's say. Before that, she was sleeping like a normal baby, waking up during night to breastfeed, but it was okay. At that moment, she started to show the need for me. And I really, and I'm telling to you this honestly, I really didn't know what was happening until a couple of years ago when I started to think about the self-care. So I was really like, why is she such a hard baby? And I'm so tired. And my husband tried to help me. She was waking up during the night, and then she wanted me to sit in the middle of the room, to hang her like here, and do not fall down, so don't sleep. And I just couldn't. I was a young mother. I was never a mother before that. And I thought that it's something wrong with me. Or it's something wrong with her, that she's just a bad sleeper and I have to accept that. But also, hi Rebecca, but also I didn't connect her behavior to my stress. So when I started to think about the self-care and how to better care about my well-being, complete well-being, she started to change her behavior a little bit. My daughter started to sleep in full whole night when she was 4.5 years old. And it's really devastating for me as a mother to be honest and to say that it is because I was not satisfied mother. I was not completely devoted to all areas to my life, and I was not embracing all areas of my life. I was running and looking at the job, the work, as my escape from the home. And then when I was coming home, I was present there, but just a little bit. I really didn't was not committed a lot. And I was thinking, oh, I need to go back to work. I need to build I was not alone in the company, but we need to build a company. I need to get more work, more work, more work. But what I was escaping from is the situation when she, as my daughter, was showing me that I'm not taking care about myself, that I'm feeling stress, and that she's experiencing it. So what I wanted to tell you with this story is, first, to be honest what was going on, but also to tell you that when I started to think about these 3 secrets that I'm going to share with you today, I started to change my own behavior and how I feel, and then she changed. And that was the moment when she was 4.5 years old. We moved to another town, but also I changed the way I'm working. I changed the way I'm thinking about myself. I changed the way how I work during the day, and I changed my behavior towards her. And it changed everything. It showed up in her sleep, but it also showed up in her own behavior. So that is the story I want to start it, just to show you that it's not only about yourself. It's not only that it's self-care is connected to you. It's that the people around you can show you, especially children, can show you the moment when you are not taking care about yourself, because they're experiencing it. So today I'm going to share with you those 3 secrets that I mastered a couple of years ago, that made me more satisfied with myself, and then much better mother than I was. I was good mother, but my sense of good motherhood improved. So just in case that you don't know who I am, I'm Tatjana. I'm the founder of When She Leads, and When She Leads is a place where where I teach you how to care about yourself. I share with you tools and tactics and strategies on how to manage your day, how to manage your week, how to manage your month, in order to make some time in your schedule as a mother for self-care. And I'm author of the signature program called 3 Circles to Self-Care, where I teach you 3 parts you need to embrace. So those are the circles that are connecting, 3 parts that you need to embrace in order to care about yourself and have all the systems necessary for the self-care. I'm an entrepreneur for 12 years. My background is in psychology, but I was working and I'm still working on hi Sonia, and I'm still working on part-time basis, consultancy basis, as a gender mainstreaming consultant, which means that I have 12 years of experience in working with different women. So I worked with Roma women, I worked with women with in entrepreneurship, I work with women from non-governmental organizations, I worked with rural women, and all of them have different lives, but in some way similar problems. And one of their problem is how to create the time in already full schedule for self-care. And that is why 2 years ago I decided to leave my first company and to reduce my work as a consultant and start working with more women on creating the space for yourself and for self-care. I'm really during this process of 12 years, I mastered different tools and techniques, but I'm really what my how to say it, what my really good strength is that I'm empowering women. I have deep understanding in all situations that women experience around the globe, because I have experience in working with different women. So I really am coming from the position that I understand and appreciate your position, and I'm not the one who is pushing you over the limits or the situation you are living in. I'm working with women in the environment they have, and we are trying to change all the pieces in order for her to rise. I'm well known for trainings that are fun, but they are deep. I'm well known for the trainings where people do not sit, but they talk between each other and talk with me. And my experience in delivering live trainings, I'm now trying to move to online sphere, and that's why I'm delivering so many lives, because I want you to experience how it is working with me. I just don't want to talk or to preach or to share a PDF with you. I want you to experience live how it is working live with me. I'm also a mom of two. I have a girl who is 9 and 5, and I have boy who just turned 4, and I love them from the bottom of my heart. I'm married to the love of my life. He's a very great supporter, and he is also one of the rare males in our environment that is completely included in parenting and real partner in a life we are living. And I want to share with people how we manage to be partners and how I'm managed to be not alone, because that is the most question that I'm receiving is, how did you manage to make him take care about your children? And it's funny sentence, because those children are not only mine. It's our children. Yeah, that's the major question I ask, how I made him do something at home, which is the story for another masterclass. So that's a short about me, and thank you, Rebecca, for coming. Love you. I understand everything. It's evening and it's late in London, so I understand. And I want to share with you just my perception and my understanding of what self-care is. And I really, sorry for looking at my computer, I just have things popping up. I really strongly believe that self-care is not a simple concept, and I really believe that it's not only doing massages and manicures. Self-care is much deeper problem, and I don't want to banalize it, and I don't want you to feel guilty because you are not doing this or that. So what self-care does mean is consciously taking care about your mind, your body, and your soul. So when I said consciously, that means that nobody is pushing you, and that means that you're not doing certain things like doing hair or doing nails or whatever because you want to satisfy somebody else. You're doing that because you need an hour for your mind to sit there and do not listen, mama, 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 mama. Or you want to do that nails and speak about the flowers of the cakes with the girl or who is doing your nails, or a boy, it doesn't matter. So when I say conscious, I mean that you're doing that for yourself, by yourself, because you need it. Nobody pushes you there. I can see around the net lots of blog posts and videos about the self-care, but then it all comes to how much money is spent on this beauty product and that beauty product, and that spa and this spa. I'm not judging anybody, so self-care has to be defined by yourself. If you need a hairdresser because you want to go there to be in peace, it's okay. Lots of women are asking me when we talk about self-care. She said, okay, but I'm not sure here completely. Is it self-care? Is it stupid to say that my nails or my legs or my coffee or whatever is self-care? Do I need to go on training? Do they need to go on a weekend in a spa? You just need to think about yourself. And you need to do what you really feel you need to do in order to make a peace between your body, mind, and soul, and to do it on purpose because you need it. So whatever you think is appropriate, maybe it's 5 minutes of reading a book, maybe it's meditation, maybe it is going shopping with your friend without feeling guilty, which is something I covered in a previous masterclass. So just wanted to be clear with you what I think self-care is. The second thing I want you to be clear from the beginning is that I strongly believe, and I want to share it with you, I strongly believe that self-care is a tool to smash patriarchy. And I want women to teach women how to care about themselves and how to devote time for themselves, because self-care is a rebellious act. Why is it a rebellious act and why it is going to smash patriarchy? Because it changes one of the major preconceptions in patriarchy, which is that the woman is there to care about somebody else. And there are two things. When I'm saying patriarchy, there are two things I'm referring to. One is power, and it's really important. It's power of a male above everybody else, and pater of familias above everybody else. So it's a male. And the second thing is that the woman is lower, so she's not on the top. She doesn't have the power, and because she doesn't have the power, she's there to serve everybody else. And that is something that we inhabited, that we learn how to behave on, that we accepted all society standards around caring about everybody else. And then when we want to do something for ourselves from the deep inside, we feel guilty. We feel deep guilt, and that is what I covered in my previous masterclass. I want to stop here and go back to the beginning, and go back to the story I told at you at the beginning. Because I was not taking care about myself after I born my daughter. And because I was devoted completely to her, other parts of myself were screaming inside. And that is why I was running from home, because finally, after 1 year, I had the opportunity to do something for myself. And I wanted to do everything. I wanted to read. I wanted to go out. I wanted to work. I wanted everything. Of course, I couldn't do it. But then, again, we are coming back. I was not satisfied, because I'm not only that, I'm also a mother, and I really love my daughter. So it was a mix of self-care, self-guilty on different levels. And when I come home, I was feeling guilty that I'm not at work, as I said. And when I was at work, I was feeling guilty that I'm not at home and I'm not taking care about her. So it was always about taking care of business or her, and I'm choosing between those two. There was not a moment when I was thinking that I need to care about myself. So that's why those situation happened. And then it changed with these 3 habits that I started to implement. So let's go to the 3 habits that will really skyrocket your life. The habit number 1 is the one you've probably heard 10,000 of times. The habit number 1 is sleep. You need to sleep. It doesn't matter how long, because most of us need different time of sleep, but you need to allow yourself to sleep. And it really struck me when I started to sleep, when my daughter started to sleep. I had, for the first time in 4.5 years, I had full night sleep. I can tell you how I was feeling. I didn't experience the same situation with my son, because he's a good sleeper. He sleeps most of the night, but he also has these moments. He's 4, just a couple of days he turned 4, so he's still coming back and forth from our bed. So I'm waking during the night, but immediately when I started to sleep, full night sleep, I was another woman. I was more refreshed in the morning. I was more alive in the morning. I was not angry in the morning when I need to get up to take her to the kindergarten. I was not angry because I didn't sleep. I was not angry about anything. I was satisfied. My brain was clear. I was more focused. I was more productive. At that moment, we moved to Belgrade, so I was working from home, so I was not going to an office, but I was more productive and focused than I was in my office previously, because rest. I gave myself a rest. Now, I need to tell you why I couldn't sleep before that. So just for you to know that we are probably in a similar situation. I didn't have a place to go. So it might happen that for 1 day or 2 days I can go out of the room and sleep in the other room, but we only had and we now have apartment with 2 rooms, so there was nowhere to hide. I couldn't go somewhere to sleep for 5 days and then come back. I just couldn't sleep because she needed me. She needed my presence, and it doesn't matter if I'm in another room, she would scream during the night searching for me. And it's really, I now have my tears in my eyes, because I really didn't understood that. I just thought that she was bad sleeper. But as soon as I started first with the sleeping and then everything else, it suddenly came to my mind. It just, I couldn't run away anywhere, so I couldn't escape it. The only way I could escape it is if I did have this knowledge, and that's why I'm transferring it to you, this knowledge that I have now about her behavior. So also, if you watch Ariana Huffington video on women, you will rise to the top by sleeping, how it's called, women will sleep their way to the top. You will see in her video that she also argues for that women need to sleep. What's also important is that I learned in that moment that if I ever have second child, I will not care about the house at all. I will use any time I can to sleep and to rest. And it was really important because I started to work 3.5 months after my son was born, and I really was pushing with this habit that I'm sleeping when he's sleeping, I'm resting when he's resting. I was more, and I really strongly believe that it contributed to him that he is a good sleeper, because I was peaceful. With my daughter, because we were in another country, we didn't have any support, my husband was working, I couldn't do that because I needed to do certain chores around the house, as any woman around the globe is doing. I'm not the special case, but I every time she was sleeping, I either was going online searching something because I needed some free time for myself, or I was doing some chores around the house while she's sleeping, because I will not have time to do it when she wakes up. No. So with my son, I decided to stop. I was also at home. I was also working from home, but then I was sleeping when he was sleeping. It is hard to make yourself do that, but I was not doing anything for the first couple of months because I needed to be prepared for what is coming, and because I needed to be prepared for what life brings. So, and this habit of having enough sleep is going on up until today. So today, what I do, because I'm also mostly working from home, I have co-sharing space, not co-share, co-working space, where I go sometimes, but usually I'm working from home. I am trying to sleep whole regular, like 6 to 8 hours a night, and I'm allowing myself to sleep in the afternoon if I'm not feeling good. And that is beauty of entrepreneurship, and that is beauty of when you have that opportunity to work from home. But even though sometimes when I'm not working from home, I'm giving myself time to nap, or to just close my eyes and listen some meditation music. When I'm in Impaha Belgrade, which is my co-working space, I put the earbuds, and I put some relaxation music for 15 minutes, and my brain completely switches. I have this low blood pressure around the 2 p.m. after the lunch, so I really, sometimes I don't need anything, but sometimes I really need to shut down for 15 minutes just to have some water. So my first secret is sleep. Use whatever opportunity you have to have enough sleep. Sleeping is connected to certain habits, and I know we cannot cover it today, like routines in the evening, routines in the afternoon. We will have it in some other masterclass, but I want you to remember this. So it's sleeping. The second secret that I master is making myself as a priority. And I told you that these secrets are not some, I don't know how strange or something like that, but it is really a secret because nobody is telling you how and in which way to make yourself priority. It's not only a calendar. It's not only a weekly plan. Making yourself priority And that is why it is a secret. Making yourself priority is strongly connected with two things. It is connected with self-care guilt, and it's also connected to having hard conversations. I'm going to explain. So, it's easy to sit down, to print weekly planner page, to list all your tasks for the week, to list, okay, this week I want to have 1 hour for myself on Saturday afternoon to go for a walk. You put it in your calendar. You put all other obligations in the calendar. It's not the hard part. Hard part is when it's Friday and your daughter tells her that she would really love to spend tomorrow with you. That is the hard part. Because you have to say no. And you have to explain to your daughter why you are telling to her no, and why you are telling to her that somebody else will spend afternoon with her because you have meeting with yourself. It's really a moment of mom guilt that we were talking about previously, but it's also a moment when you face that look in your eyes saying, I'm not a good mother. No. I will erase this meeting with myself and I will go with her. Hi Alexandra. I will change the schedule and I will go with her, and then some other day I will have meeting with myself. I call it meeting with myself in my calendar, so it's like that. So it's really really hard, and that's why it is a secret, because nobody is saying to you how to do that. Nobody is preparing. Everybody is saying, oh, you have to put yourself in the calendar. Putting yourself in calendar is the easy part. You have to face this. The other thing is hard conversation, which is connected to hard conversation with your loved ones, like your daughter, but it's also hard conversation with your with partner. So if you put yourself first on Saturday, on Monday, on Friday, on Thursday, whatever day it is, and you say, I'm not available, you need to lead this conversation in how things are going to happen without you. And you need to lead this conversation because of the two things. First thing is, sadly but true, some of the males or females, it doesn't matter with whom you are living with, in our lives are not used to do something if you don't tell them to do. So they are not used, they didn't learn that in their life, to put washing machine on, to clean the house or whatever. So if you put yourself first and you devote some time to yourself, and those time are the times when you do chores or whatever, or some chores will not be done, you have to lead that conversation. Sadly but true, you have to do it at this moment and explain that it is, from now on, it is going to be the time for yourself because you need it, because everything we spoke last time, and somebody else needs to take over this duty from you. So these two things, how to persist in self-care, how to persist when you have your children grabbing on you, your husband grabbing on you, your parents grabbing on you, your friends grabbing on you. So it is really hard to persist in it and keep those time as a secret, and sacred. And on the other hand, to lead some tough conversations, with your loved ones in the home, to prepare the ground for them to understand that from now on things are going to be different, but not to preach them, not to oppose them, to share as a family what needs to be done in order for you to have time for yourself. But also it will be hard to say to a friend, no, I cannot call you tomorrow, or I cannot be with you tomorrow because I'm going to Pilates, I'm going to walk, I'm going to be on my own, I'm going to read, it doesn't matter. Or to your primary family, to a mother and to a father, no, I cannot do that tomorrow because tomorrow I'm priority for myself. So that is secret number 2. So secret number 1 was you need to sleep in order to rest. And the secret number 2 is that you have to put yourself as a priority and overcome these two obstacles. The secret number 3 is not so hard, and it's really connected to the second one. It is that you have to overcome the belief that you are the only one who can do everything at home. And I know that some of you are going to kill me because of it. I know that some of you are going to hate me because of this. I know that some of you will think, yeah, but you don't understand my situation. And I'm going to oppose you. Yes, I know your situation. I know because I've been there. I know because I lived with other women. I know because I worked with other women. So I worked with women from rural areas in Serbia who wake up at 4:30 and lay down at 12, and they don't stop, and they do everything. And nobody else does what they do. I worked with Roma women living in the slums. I know how they live, and I know what they can do and what they can not do, and what is their life, how it looks like. So even though you think that I'm talking from the position of white white female from good background, I'm not. I'm talking you from the position of women, me, who, hi Tanya, welcome. I'm talking to you from the position of women who was in abusive relationship for 4 years, where I did everything you do now. So I really mastered after that relationship and after the situation I spoke to you previously on this masterclass. I've really overcome this belief that I need to do everything and that I'm best in doing that. Patriarchal world we are living in is teaching us that we are best in cooking, we are best in cleaning. Hi Manuela. We are best in doing homework. We are best in picking the clothes. We are best in buying clothes. We are best in buying presents for the birthdays. So this overload on our brain is torturing us on one hand. On the other hand, other significance in our lives are also learned that we as women are best in that. So they are not learned to think about all of these things, and they're not taught to take over the responsibility. So in some situation, like my previous abusive I'm sad when I'm even thinking about that relationship. They never understand, because they don't want to understand, and they don't love you enough to understand. In situation, in relationship I am now with my husband, there was not too much to discuss about, but I needed to overcome my inner need to clean after him. And I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart, don't do that. So when we started to live together, he said, okay, I'm going to clean this and this room, and you clean that room, and then we go out. And he decided to clean the bathroom, and I came after him, and I had this instant urge to clean everything again. And I had to fight with myself to say, this is beautiful. I really love not how you helped me. I really love how we finished this in 2 hours and went out. I needed to fight this talk in my brain which goes, oh, it's bad. He didn't clean it as it should be. My mother and my grandmother taught me different, and I need to show up as a good woman because we started to work together. It's really hard. But it is a secret that will skyrocket your life. Why it's going to skyrocket your life is because of the two things. Because you will all, as a family, have more time for yourself as a family to join and bond. But also you will shave number of hours from your agenda because you will share responsibility. And it will make your family stronger. That's the major thing. It will make your family stronger when you do that. In some cases, you will not have somebody doing that from the bottom of their heart. So like we were speaking in the previous secret, if you're living with the friends, or if you're living with a partner, or if you're living with the husband, if they are not used on doing that, you need to lead that conversation. And you need to lead to say, okay, this is our own house, this is place we all live in, and I really think that we should share responsibilities in order to have time for all of us together. If I'm doing everything by myself, I don't have time for kids, I don't have time for husband, I don't have time for work, I don't have time for myself. And I really need that time. But also you need to sit in front of the mirror and practice this self-talk in your head. When he does it, that you don't preach. When he does it, that you don't go and clean after him. When he does it, you say, look how much time we shaved from our week. Look how much time we have for ourselves. It is really hard, but it's really a conversation that we need to internally to lead with ourselves. And it is a secret because my experience in working, and I'm going to be tough here, but my experience in working with women groups is that either there are two ways it's going on like this. When you want to empower women, there are people, trainers, who are doing that by preaching, you need to do that, you need to avoid, you don't need to do that anymore, you have to stop. That's one side of the conversation. My approach is a little bit different. We can do this first and tell her that she needs to stop only if we secured safe space for her. But if we're going to preach her and tell her what she does and what she does not have to do with her own life, and then you push back her in her own life, in her own environment, in the home where nothing else is happening, in her sisters, mothers-in-law who are not behaving like that, you're not making her favor. You're not empowering her. You're just pushing her deeply in that. So you need to work on changing gender roles and changing gender relationships. And it's not as easy as it preaching you have to stop to do that, because she needs to return to that home after your work. So it is sensitive question, and it is sensitive thing, so it's not a thing that is talking a lot around. And I'm known on it, and I'm known in, when you're empowering women, you need to empower her as a whole. You don't need to push her with ideas and tell her that she's going to be bad if she doesn't do that when she goes home. You need to be there for her, and you need to be there to create for her a safe space, that when she encounters the problem and her husband preach because she doesn't do something, to offer her a solution for that, to make him a partner in the relationship, because you are not living her life. You are not living in her family. You are not living in her village when everybody is abusing her around. So it is a sensitive, and it is a hard, and that is why it is a secret. And it's also that you need to shut down that voice in your head, and it's really hard. And it requires work, because you have to make inner peace within yourself that you are a good woman, good wife, good mother, good partner, good sister, good daughter. It doesn't matter if you don't clean bathroom. And you are good if you refuse to clean bathroom, if you think that somebody else should do it. And you're good if somebody else is picking up the clothes for the school. And you're good if those clothes are not your perception of how clean and polished clothes should be. And you're good if you are not there for every birthday party where every other mother is present. And you're good if you go on a trip. So those are all inner pieces that you need to relate to yourself, and you need to come from the place of love for yourself, whatever you do. So you are a good mother, whatever you do. You are a good sister, whatever you do. So I want you to embrace that, and to shut down that voice in your head that is the voice that you learned from your childhood. All women around the world, it's really a rare number of women who didn't listen that when they grow up. The media is talking about it, the magazines are talking about it, the cartoons are talking a bit about it, that you thought that you are the one who is master of house, the one who is best in cleaning, the one who is best in cooking, and that males, they're just lazy, or they're just, how it's called, it's not sloppy, but they will not do it proper way. No, they will do it. It doesn't matter if it's proper or not. They will do it, and you don't care. It's clean enough. It's better than it was. Your daughter will not be in dirty clothes. It doesn't matter if it's aligned with colors. So we first in and it's really hard because you don't have supportive system around you. You don't see that in media, even though you're grown up. You don't see that in magazines. You don't see that in a culture around you. So it is kept a secret, because if you start to do that, we will have more healthier relationships. We will have more peace with ourselves, and above all, we will have more time for ourselves. And if we have more time for ourselves, that means that what patriarchy wants is the power. That power diminishes. That means that we are reducing the power of males over the females, and that means that we are not only caregivers. We are taking care about ourselves also. So that is why I'm thinking that this talk Sorry, just something's going on with my phone. So that's why I wanted to bring these things as really secret, because those are things that are not talked about when we talk about self-care. Those are things that somehow slips around all the talk about spas and beauty salons, and it doesn't matter, books, fairs, trips away from town. The point are in those three things. And I strongly believe when you master these, like sleep, making yourself priority, and shutting out your self-talk, that you will skyrocket your life, that you will have first more love for yourself, you will feel better with yourself, you will raise self-confidence, and also you will have much more better relationship with your loved ones, with your friends, with your business partners, or whatever. And these three secrets are hard to master. Sleep is hard to master. It really is. It's very hard to shut down nowadays when we have our phones near a bed, but it's hard to master. It's hard to master yourself as a priority, because you have to say no and you have to lead different hard conversations. And it's really hard to shut down that voice in your head, because that is something you listen from the childhood. So when you master those three skills, I am sure that you will skyrocket your life, that you will be better with yourself. And I was talking for what time is it now? For almost an hour. I see that there are not so many people live, because I was going off and on from live. I'm going to leave this live open, and if you have any questions and comments in this, I please ask, and I will be there to respond. Also, if you have any topic you want me to cover, I would love to let me try to I would love you to ask that question, and I would love